Are y'all ready for a story time? I know most of y'all like a good story time. So we're gonna pull this one based off of Walt Disney's Alice in Wonderland. You know the story. How many of y'all remember the caterpillar scene?
Who are you?
It's a scene that focuses on what most of us, including and especially myself, have dealt with over the course of our lifetimes, and that is identity issues.
I hardly know, sir. I've changed so many times since this morning, you see.
I do not see. Explain yourself.
I'm afraid I can't explain myself, sir, because I'm not myself, you know.
In the Disney adaptation of the cartoon, they kind of trivialize a little bit and minimize it. However, there are always symbolic meanings. So while the caterpillar is antagonizing her a bit and challenging her thinking about who she is, he is offering her a solution that comes in the form of a magical mushroom. And here in the book, it reads, "Next, Alice met a hardy caterpillar blowing smoke rings. He told Alice to eat his mushroom if she wished to change her size." For anyone who's ever dealt with identity issues, you're always looking for a solution because you don't quite fit in. In that story, she eats the mushroom, she grows super big above all the trees, and then she eats another piece of the mushroom so that she could shrink back to her normal size. The whole time before she even got there, she wasn't even sure about who or what she was. And so the caterpillar, trying to question her, yet offering her a solution, came in the form of a substance. If it's not a substance in real life, sometimes it's advice. And so regardless of what it is, when we tend to struggle with things and we think that we're being helped in some way, sometimes what we perceive as helpful is harmful. I've only been on this planet 45 years, and that's not a whole lot of time. It is long enough to have some experiences that I never thought that I would bargain for and ended up by agreement. I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform and to be an ideal of something I was looking for by way of acceptance, to feel loved, valued, appreciated, cared about, necessary in this world. And it was always something I would struggle with because I knew something about myself deep inside. I prayed that others would see and I wouldn't have to go around and say, hey, notice these things. And it kind of made a pick me in a sense out of me, but not in a romantic way, but in a social way and in a familial way and in a professional way. When someone knows that they have certain skills and talents, certain personalities that feel like it's been quenched, you know, unaccepted, unappreciated, unwanted. It's enough to make a person feel like, well, why am I even living? Why am I here if there's nothing that I have to offer and that no one wants? If you don't want to let go, if you get my drift, then you try to find solutions to stay in the game. And sometimes the solutions that are brought to you come by way of the different relationships that we have. Some relationships I had trouble discerning how healthy they were for me or not. They weren't always something romantic. It was also with friendships as well. When you believe that someone cares for you, you're gonna follow their advice. Even if they were blinded to the things that they were saying, sometimes they're very well aware. They would do it anyway or give wrongful information anyway, intentionally. Just don't know. But I rediscovered who does know. That is the Lord God Almighty, whom I was raised to know since I was a little girl. I was 4 years old, giving prophetic messages to my mother. She always reminds me of, I thought were somehow discarded along the way, unseen by God. So I didn't believe that God truly loved me anymore the way that he loved other people. My faith kind of faltered, and through the experiences of what we call church hurts, those instances, every time I would try to live righteously and do the things that I was raised to believe in, avoid the things I was taught to leave alone, I still felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere. All of my efforts weren't good enough. I felt like how baby Cain felt when he tried to bring his offering up, but he wasn't studious and receptive to why God favored Abel's offerings and his first fruit. I shared that to say I've learned a lot of things in my almost year-long isolation that have taught me valuable lessons about what my true identity is as a daughter of God who loves Jesus Christ, who was raised to know who he is. I still got tricked, an attempt rather, to trick me out of what my God-given destiny and purpose is, and a lot of confusion and deception that was brought in as a result of wrongful relationships and connections. I too was like Alice, lost in a wonderland, chasing a white rabbit down a hole. I didn't quite run into a caterpillar, but there was some snakes in there. You know, God pulled me out of the pit. It's a lengthy testimony, so I probably wouldn't give it all at once. As I am permitted to, I will share. If you would like to know more, or if you have a similar testimony, or you can relate to what I am saying, please drop it in the comments. No, I'm not the only one in this world who's ever had these types of experiences. I see people up and down my timeline with their testimonies of how God brought them out. It is time for us, saints, to share those things. There are others that are like us that are bound and are still searching within the depths of their soul for answers. It's for us to reassure that God never forgotten about us. God is calling us to call on him to pull us out of these pits so that we can be saved and so that we can help rescue others. Coming is nothing to play with. I have seen and felt and experienced that personally. God bless.